Hello, welcome back to Bald and Board Games. I'm Bald,
On board.
and we are bringing you a rulebook rundown of Tiny Epic Game of Thrones. Cue music.
Dun, dun, dun. No.
Oh man.
It's look. I can't. Yeah, sure. Yeah. So this just came in the mail this week. We've been excited. We have a lot of games that just came in. Check out on our YouTube the unboxing for Tiny Epic Game of Thrones with 2 expansions, as well as our unboxing of Dragon Eclipse, which is a big boy.
That is a big boy, and there's a lot to that. I'm gonna have a nice long session of card sleeving for that one.
Yes, but yeah, we haven't had a rulebook rundown in a little bit. We just we just did.
We had a massive one.
We had a massive one. That's true.
We haven't had any for a little bit, and then we had a massive one, and then we got a bunch of games in now.
Yeah, this would be a nice, quick, short one. Usually, Gamelyn Games are pretty simple to play. There's nothing overly complex. But yeah, we'll walk through this. If we might just break this into 2 chapters, where chapter 2 is one of the expansions, which has its own rulebook.
Yeah.
We'll start with the main.
I'll put this over here, little Game of Thrones things. Okay, so Game of Thrones. Here we go. Prologue. In the captivating realm of Westeros, players take on the role of the mighty houses, each with their eyes set on the illustrious Iron Throne. The path to victory is twofold, demanding triumph on both the sprawling battlefields that stretch from the vibrant Rainwood to the icy reaches of the north, as well as the intricate duels fought on a more personal scale. Here, the actions of a single enigmatic figure can tip the scales in favor of an outnumbered adversary. In Tiny Epic Game of Thrones, you engage in a fierce struggle for domination over various houses. For dominion over various houses. With deft skill, you must manage your armies and other resources, strategically maneuvering your forces to secure your claim to the throne. The Game of Thrones is not merely won through brute force, but also through cunning plots and calculated moves. Much like Steve likes to do. Prepare to immerse yourself in a world where power and influence are the currency of the realm. As you navigate the treacherous landscape of Westeros, your every decision will shape the destiny of your house. Will you rise above the rest and seize control of the Iron Throne? Or will you be swept away by the tides of ambition and betrayal? All right. Then it goes over all the various components and pieces that we have. So we have 6 mats, 1 action mat, a score mat, a round mat. It says 5 dice here, but we do have the special dice that we'll add on. We have the game. You have 45 plot cards, 7 hero cards, 8 house mats, and then you have the 8 different houses. We do have the Targaryens as well, but that's not Ice and Fire expansions. We just aren't going to have them out right now for this rulebook rundown. It says 7 hero figures. We do have a little bit more because we did get the hero pack as well. 4 gold coins. We have other gold coins as well. So I assume they typically use the gold coins to track your gold. We're going to use actual gold to track our gold. 12 castles, 1 iron throne made of wood, 1 hand of the king, 2 vengeance tokens, the Hermulis, 1 crown, and then you have your solo components. So, 7 solo hero cards. Cool. So I'll let you
setup. Yeah, I'll go through setup and give you what you gotta have.
And I'm gonna take out nothing.
Yeah, they're already.
I said 7 solo hero cards. So I figured they were gonna be anyway. Okay.
I think it's the same hero cards.
All right.
For solo.
Oh, maybe not.
Or no, they have a marker in the upper right corner of 1 symbol instead of 2 symbols.
No, they're all the ones. I think this is literally all solo.
Yeah.
And these are the cards we're gonna be using.
That makes sense.
Okay, so we're gonna put these cards off to the side. This little solo marker.
All 7 of them. Oh yeah, so all the 14.
Boom
here.
and boom. So it looks like that star means solo.
So
which makes sense. Very clear. Leave the Gamelyn. And put that back in the box.
All right. So game setup. Place the 6 map cards in the center. Lay down 2 rows of 3, or two columns of 3 rows. And this is the map of Westeros. Note that there's compass directions each one to tell you where they go.
Southeast, east, northeast, northwest, west, southwest.
Yep. Place the score map next to the game board. And the round map, flip to the standard side.
Look at that. We'll put this here.
Standard is that side.
I'll put this one there.
Directly under it.
Okay, we'll
Then
do that, like they say.
on the round map, do the following. Place the round marker. So the round marker is a good question.
I mean, you can see it over here.
Yeah, where's 2A? Oh, the crown. Here we go. The round marker on the first space on the left, mark with the crown icon. Yep.
I was gonna say,
I wasn't looking up there.
I assume the other two tokens are going to go there. And
Place
there.
the 2 vengeance tokens on 3 and 5. Right after 3 and 5. Yep, those 2 spots.
Yep.
Each player selects a house. What house would you like to be for this tutorial?
Oh, it's Starks.
Of course, you move this stuff around.
Of course, you're the Starks. I am from the Great White North.
I am going to be the Sun Spear.
No, it's Vermont, not Canada.
Place your chosen house map in front of you. So House Stark, there you go.
Thanks, sir. Oh, I was just doing
That's
it all here.
Oh, that works. That'll work. And I'm going to play this one right here. And flip it so the side marked player is in the bottom left. Yep, because the other side looks completely different.
Yeah.
Place your 9 power tokens, which will be your little minis, on the marked spaces in the force track.
Which must be this.
So it looks like
Things that match.
4 go on the... Oh, that is... Those actually the power tokens?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, interesting.
They're the same shape.
They don't fit well, though.
It's really good.
What do you mean? Oh, down there.
Yeah.
Boop. On your house is... Oh, okay, interesting.
Nice. Cool.
Take the leftmost power token on the track and place it on your home domain on the map. Where is... I can't see upside down. There's High Garden.
Yep. And we got Stark. Oh, I'm thinking like the wall, and that was north.
No, that's not on here.
I know.
Place your house's hero figure in your home domain.
Oh, so
Place its matching hero card in your play area.
So we get to choose our hero figure. So because we have the expansion, we have potentially multiple choices of hero figures. So you are Marjorie.
I took Elena.
Oh, took Elena. Okay, of course you did.
Of course I will.
Yeah.
I will poison someone, no problem.
Let me see here. Robb Stark or Eddard Stark. You know, Rob's okay, but I'm gonna go with Eddard. Let me get Eddard. Okay.
Okay.
And they go in the same spot?
Yep, with your place, or with your location. And then it says place its matching hero card in your play area as the first card in your hand. So I guess we'll put like right next to it.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Place your shield next to its first space on the score mat, icon side up. And then place a gold coin on the map's gold track on the 3 space.
So we're just going to take 3 gold coins instead of doing that. More fun.
Randomly select 3 of the unchosen house mats and place them along with the house Aaron map in a row above the map, the non-player side up.
We'll put it over here.
Yep. So it has to be house Aaron. And let's go, what's over here? There's the toys.
So 4 total.
Yep,
Nice.
let's grab those. These are 4 non-player houses for the game. The rest can be returned to the box. In a 4-player game, all 8 house mats are in play, which makes sense because there's 2 left in this version.
Looks like we're going to have to put their cards next to them. So.
Place the house's shield on the marked spot icon side up. So each of these have a shield location on their board. Okay. Place 3 power tokens on the home domain listed on the map. So 3 Lannisters will go in Casterly Rock. 3 of these will go in the Iron Islands and Pike.
House Aaron.
3 of these will go down in
There's the Erie.
Yep. And these should be right below it. Where is Riverdale? Oh, Riverrun.
Riverdale. Wrong universe.
There we go. All right. Place the remaining 6 power tokens on the image of the house castle on their maps.
Okay.
Why do we have too many?
We don't.
That is... Nope, I'm just kidding. I can't count. We'll just put their die next to their thing.
That's what I was trying to put in the corner.
There we go. There we go. Place the house's hero figure on the hero marker.
Probably know what that says.
Which is where this is about to go.
Ooh, so which hero figure? Let's do a randomization for these
Aaron
houses.
doesn't have anybody.
We got Blackfish and Greyjoy.
House Aaron does not have a hero figure or card. So randomly select one out of each of these.
Yep. House Lannister will be functioning with
So this is a big old dude.
Jaime Lannister.
All right, we get a Theon.
Didn't say to put him here.
Yeah, in the hero spot.
Yeah. So, oh, you're just putting those over there because they weren't.
Those with the other. Yeah, it's,
Oh.
whatever. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. Shuffle the plot cards and form a face down pile. So the plot cards are this big old deck right here of not without the hero cards.
Yeah, so let's move this up out of the way for you. Shuffle those.
Deal 4 cards to each player, adding them to your hero card to form a 5-card hand. These cards are kept secret from the other players, and the remainder of the deck, it has to be within player reach. So let's keep that right there.
Yep. So give it a good shuffle because they have never been shuffled before.
While he's shuffling that,
And 4.
yep. So and then this will go into your hand as well. Place the Iron Throne onto the spot with the matching icon in King's Landing. Boop.
We do have the mini instead of the
Yep.
wooden token.
Place the 12 castles onto the domains with the castle icon. So castle here, castle black has a castle. We actually have 13 castles. So I'm assuming one of these is for the other game.
So we got here, got the reach.
High Garden should have a castle pick.
And these aren't set up so you can place them specifically like face up like that while you're playing, but because we're doing the playthrough, we're having them so you can see them.
King's Landing has 3 castles.
Has this.
No, that can't be right.
Doesn't. Boom.
That's not the same castle symbol. Oh, it is.
This is the Iron Throne.
Yeah, no, I was looking there. It had 3 castles.
No, it's the castle.
there we go.
Literally the castle symbol.
Oh, because that's also King's Landing. Oh, that's the reach.
That's the reach.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we have 1 extra castle. Each player begins with control of 1 castle. Each player places that castle on the 9 spot of your gold track. Okay, so we take our castle off and place it on the 9.
Do this. So they can see.
Give the hand of the king, who's the first player token, to the player who last attended a run fair. Well, that'd definitely be me. Or else use your own method. We'll give it to Nick because...
Sure. Why not?
This is a tutorial.
Here, I'm going to do this too because we're doing the tutorial just to...
Gotcha.
Even though we have the mini for the throne, but it's kind of hard for you to see top down, so...
All right, so that is it. Everything else is off to the side, all of the other houses and whatnot. So then we go into a game overview of how the rounds work and what all these things actually do.
Okay. The setup is kind of fun. I like that.
Yeah.
Game overview. The game is played over a series of 6 rounds, noted on the round track, which is this right here. Boom. Intermixed with 3 scoring phases marked with the purple crown. So in round 1 through 3 are played. Then you have a scoring phase, 4 through 5 played, scoring phase intermediate, then 6, and final scoring.
I love how it gives you everything right there on the little card too.
That's perfect. Each round, each player takes a turn as the active player. The first player is marked with the hand of the king, leading play while everyone else chooses whether to follow the active player's action. After all players have taken a turn, the round ends. Players then check for alliances, collect taxes, and the hand of the king passes clockwise. After playing rounds 3, 5, and 6, a scoring phase takes place, where players earn victory points based on how much of Westeros they control, plus additional bonuses based on the scoring objectives of their house. After scoring the 6th and final round, the player with the most victory points is crowned the Lord of the Seven Kingdoms. Resource overview. The 5 main resources that you manage your house are your plot cards, castles, gold, power tokens, and alliance with non-player houses. Plot cards, which is that stack that we just got cards from, are kept in your hand, hidden from other players. These are used to scheme for alliances, augment war efforts, and trigger unique events. You can have at most 4 plot cards in your hand at any time, not counting your hero card. If the draw deck is empty, then shuffle and discard, refresh the deck. Castles prove your legitimacy to the throne by controlling castles, which you gain by controlling the castle's domain. Place each castle token you control on your gold track, covering 1 space each from right to left. Like we just did there, we have 1 and 9 right now because we have a castle. This represents the upkeep required to maintain the castles as your maximum gold you can never exceed, and the number of open spaces on your track. If gaining castles means you have too much gold, move your gold coin 1 space to the left. If you lose control of the castle or domain, or decide to abandon it, either give the castle token to its new owner or return it to its domain if no one owns it. What? I felt like it was leading up to say something. It just says, if you lose, okay, it just says, if you lose it, period. Like, if you lose it, you do those things. Return its domain, decide to abandon it, or give the castle token to a new owner, or return it to its domain. Is what happens. Okay, so that dictates how much gold you can have. So we aren't going to be moving our gold piece at all. So right now we start off with 3 gold, but we can have a max of 8 gold total right now a piece.
When the castle moves down, max goes down.
Exactly, that's upkeep. So your house's wealth is tracked by the gold coin on your house's mat, or gold tracks, the gold that we have. You gain, spend, lose gold by moving the coin forward and backward, but you cannot exceed the 9 gold space or the limit imposed by the castles you control. Also, you can never go lower than 0. Gold is used to recruit armies, plot against other houses, pay for your defense in battle, or pay for the event action of plot cards. Then we have our power tokens, which are all these guys here. Each house, both player and non-player, have 9 power tokens. These tokens represent different things based on where they are placed and who owns them. Any power token on the map of Westeros represents military strength for the house that controls it. For instance, it says on here, shows Lannister power token to Castle Rock represents 1 military strength. So we all have 3 military strength, except for Highgarden has 1.
And you have 1.
Right now, and I have 1.
Yeah, so we start at 1. The NPC houses get 3 to start.
Yep. When the forest track of your house mat, when on the forest track of your house mat, these represent military units that you may pay gold to recruit. So at the top, it looks like forest track. It looks like you probably have to pay 1 gold here to recruit those first 2, 2 gold for those 2,
Yep.
3 for the next, and 4 for the last 2. When non-player power tokens are in the ally pool of your house mat, they represent leverage that you have gained over the house through plots, or from resolving battle. Whichever has the most power token of a specific non-player house in their ally pool controls that house. Interesting. When they are non-player houses, when they are of a non-player house and are on their own house mat, they are undesignated and can be taken and used for either purpose, to boost the player's allied troops or to build leverage over the non-player house. Okay. Then you have alliances. I'll go over to your turn, or playing around. I'll let you do next.
Sure.
Alliances. A key element of the game is that each non-player house starts the game as a potential ally. Being the first to gain 2 of the non-player house's power tokens in your ally pool potentially grants you that house's shield, and therefore their alliance. Once you are a non-player house's ally, so of these over here, once we're one of their allies, all of the house's power tokens on the map are now considered military strength for your house, and tokens on their map may be recruited as well. Cool. However, do not get too comfortable, as loyalty is fleeting. Alliances are checked at the end of each round. Players with at least 2 power tokens and more of the non-player's house power tokens than anyone else gain the alliance of that house. So alliances can change. And basically whoever has the most power tokens, it seems like. That's
Sure.
cool. So if I were to gain the alliance of House Aaron, instead of me, I would have a total like military strength of 3 here, but if one of my tokens is in there, it'd be 4. I'm assuming that's kind of what it means.
Yeah, and then these have military strength 2. Our people.
Nice.
All right, playing a round. In each round, players take turns clockwise, starting obviously with the hand of the king. The player with the hand of the king will roll all 5 dice to start a round. So I guess we do need those. All right.
Were we supposed to put these guys on there, or were they supposed to go here on our hero section?
Double check. I thought it said right in the location. Place the onto the circle label hero.
Haha.
Good call. That makes sense. Okay.
So sorry, what did you just say?
Yep, rereading it. At the beginning of the round, the player at the hand of the king rolls all 5 dice. Then, starting with the player to the right and going counterclockwise, players select one of the available dice and places it in their play area for use on this turn. The player with the hand of the king token receives the remaining 2 dice to begin the round. For a 2-player game, the player without the hand of the king selects a die to place in the left slot at the bottom of the action map. So that's that.
So the dice are still rolled.
Then selects second selects a die to place in the play area. Then the player with the hand of the king selects a die to place in the right slot and begins the round. So now, on your turn, if you have 2 action dice, you're the active player. You will perform the following steps. Choose one of the dice to place on the action mat, placing in any one of the open action slots. The first player of each round has all 6 to choose from. The icon in the slot you select determines an optional action that only you may perform. After performing the die's action, see next page, then you may perform the action shown on the die, which it'll cover on the next page as well. Going around the table, all other players may follow your die's action, performing it as well. Players may always follow a die, even if the active player chooses not to perform it themselves. Once all players have decided whether or not to follow the action, place the unused die to the player. Place the unused die to the player clockwise of you, making sure it doesn't change the die phase. And then I'm the active player because I have 2 dice. This is not the die I'm looking for. So you placed one of your dice here. Then the second die will come to me. And then I pick between this die and that die, so I do need this one. Right.
And I had to place this down on like the matching symbol.
No, it just says place it on one of the open action slots on the right side of the map. The first player has all 6 to choose from.
Okay.
And this is the icon in that slot you select determines an optional action that only you may perform.
Okay, so if I put this there in March.
Before performing the die action. So optional actions is next. We'll get to that in a second.
Okay, so just from the start. So place a die there.
Yeah.
Which does.
So then it says this select determines an optional action that only you may perform. So let's go to optional action so we can make sense of this. When you are the active player, you and you alone have the option to perform an additional action before your chosen die's action.
Okay, so we chose the die because I wanted to do this action, which is sailing, but by putting it here, I get to
hold on.
Potentially do the march action.
The action slot where you place your die shows one of 6 icons you may take as an optional action. For instance, placing a march die on the recruit slot means you alone can perform the recruit before performing the march. Only you get the optional action. So you get both this and this.
Right, but I have to do this action on the board first before the die action.
Yes. The active player can perform recruit before performing their die's action. So you would do whatever you're placing it in, then do your die's action. Then going around clockwise order, I may follow the die action only.
Right. Makes sense.
Then, after we do that, I would then place my die down, same thing, and it would then go back until there's nothing left. Changing a die phase. House abilities, whether your own or gained through alliances, have the ability to change the dice. The die you change does not have to be the die you place on the action map. So that's just pretty much here that you can use the alliance ability if you chose to do if you have an alliance with them.
Yeah, they're all different. So mine, I can set a die to the like armor face. House Lannister can set it to the throne face. Tully can set it to the march face. Greyjoy sets it to the sail face. Aaron, you can pay 1 gold to change the die to any face.
Okay. After the active player performs the optional action, each player going in clockwise order may choose to perform the die action, as we said. Continue taking turns until all players have decided yes or no to do that action. Then starting with the Hand of the King token and going clockwise, check alliances. Then players collect taxes, pass the Hand of the King token, and the round is now over. Either start the next round or score. Changes for 2 to 3 players. After all players have taken their turns as the active player and before checking alliances, all players may now follow the die at the bottom of the action mat. For 2 players, each player chooses whether or not to perform the left die action first. So that's this one.
Mm-hmm.
After all players have to do that, you can choose to perform the right die action.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep. So it looks like here, yeah. So you would Hand of the King, place a die down. They can do this action listed on the left-hand side.
Yep.
Optionally themselves. Then they can choose to do the die action.
Okay.
It would then come to the next player. I can do only the die action. Once all players decide with 2 dice, that player's not, so then it would come to me, and now I am the active player with the 2 remaining dice. So yeah, so that comes to me. That die.
The one that I have goes to you.
Yeah, because you placed this one.
Oh, so the die literally switches.
Yeah, so the extra die switches.
Moving around. Okay.
So you get 2 options to start. You choose yours, and then you give me the second option. I have my 2 options to choose from.
Okay.
So all players take their turn, and then we can decide whether to do those.
All right, performing actions. So the 5 action dice are identical. So then the dice looks like that we got like with different colors are cosmetic, to where instead of using like these 5, you can just use 5 like the house color dice.
Yeah. Well, I guess for what we place here, we can place our own, so we know that that's our house's die.
Yeah, you can do that.
And then we'll just
And then
get rid of that black die
Yeah.
associated.
So 6 icons on each die are representing an action they may perform. All are listed on the action mat. They are Recruit, which is the top one here, the armor. The foot is March. The boat is Sail. The crow or raven is Whisper. The ink is Plot. And the Iron Throne is Event. Action, Recruit. You may recruit 1 or 2 power tokens. Again, those are these things on the board. Deploying them onto the map. The tokens may come from either your house's force track or from a mat of a non-player house that you have an alliance with. Power tokens can be recruited from any combination of these 2 sources. From your house. You may pay the gold cost listed on the leftmost tokens section at the top of the force track. Again, that's above them here. It tells you how much it costs per token you're looking to recruit. However, the number of units in the domain cannot exceed the domain limit, DUL, which I guess is going to be on the board somewhere potentially. We'll find out. So, for instance, recruiting this token, they cost 2 gold, it says here. Okay, it goes over to DUL on the bottom. So, for allied houses, you may pay 1 gold to recruit a power token from a non-player's house map that you have an alliance with. To take the token from the house's token pool and place it into a domain that you control. Again, subject to domain limits.
Shows it perfectly right there on the card.
Perfect. Then it gives an example as well. So, of course, if you have 2 or more ally units in your pool, then, it also says it here.
Yep.
Ally pool. Then you, like I said earlier, have their alliance. It seems like whoever has more of that person in the ally pool gets the alliance, and those are the ones who can recruit. But let's see. So at the end of the action, there can never be more than 3 units from a single house in a domain.
Okay.
These units include power tokens and heroes. In addition, you may occupy a single domain at the same time with a non-player allied house. So therefore, a domain can have, at most, 6 total units.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay. All right. So then the march action. You may move an army of the 2 adjacent domains. A march is moving by land any number of power tokens you control, your houses or an allied house from one domain into the adjacent domain. All of the moving units are called an army. Adjacent requires moving over a border corner to corner. Domains such as Ashmark and the Erie are not adjacent. So it has to be over a border.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
However, water borders between domains are considered adjacent. So Pike
I can
is
read that.
adjacent to River Run
River
and
Run.
Ashmark. Yeah, Rivermark. Riverdale. Yeah, I said wrong for that.
Rivermark's not even a thing.
I know. When marching units, you may move up to 2 adjacent domains, which have white borders. All right, so then they just give an example of what moving 2 adjacent domains is. So it means you can go 1, 2. You may move into domains you control and pick up and/or drop off units from your army, including allied tokens, anywhere along your march path, moving from domain to domain. So you could move in, pick one up, and then move them with you to the next one. You may march from one map card to another, obviously as long as the domains are adjacent. You cannot move 2 separate armies from 2 different home domains with a single march action. All units that move must either be part of the initial army or picked up along the way. You cannot move through domains with another player's power token or an unallied house's power token, unless a power lets you do so. Marching into a hostile domain immediately results in a battle. If you end your march in an unoccupied castle domain, you take control and add the castle to your rightmost space on your track. You cannot end your march in King's Landing unless you currently control 3 castles. Oh, that's what the 3 means on there. 1, 2, 3. Okay. However, you may move through King's Landing if it's not currently occupied by another player or an unallied house. So you can move through it, you can't stay on it.
Yeah.
Got it. The final result of a march cannot exceed the domain unit limit, which is the 3 of you, each individual army, or 6 total between multiple armies. So then you have, should I do all the actions here? And then I'll let you do battling.
Sure.
So sail action. You may move an army a large distance by sea around Westeros, from one domain to a domain another map card, or up to 2 seas away. So if you're here, you can go up to here.
Yep.
All right. All domains have a cost, so you can launch or end a sail action at any domain. The Sea of Westeros, or have a coast, not a cost. Who can't read now? The Seas of Westeros are the deep blue waterways on the outer edge of the map card. Westeros is divided into 6 seas marked by the compass icon in the top corner. So those are the 6 cards. All right, so moving sailing units. You may move to any land domain up to 2 map cards away from your current card, moving either clockwise or counterclockwise around Westeros. So that's just saying you can go like this or like this. You don't have to go a specific direction. You cannot sail to a domain on your current map card. So you can't, if you're up here at Storm's End, you can't sail to come down here to Sunspear. Sailing is purely to get from map card to map card.
Yes, 2 spots away. Because in the middle there could be that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You may end your sail at a domain you control, either with your power tokens or an allies. However, sailing into a hostile domain immediately results in battle. If you end your sail in an unoccupied castle domain, you take control and add the castle to rightmost space in your board. Excuse me. You cannot end your sail in King's Landing unless you control 3 castles.
Yeah.
You must always end your sail in a domain. A sea cannot be occupied by any units, and the final result cannot exceed a domain limit.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, so if you sail, you have to end
like
in a location.
I was looking at like those boundaries that are around there to see. Oh, it's just extending the border of the actual location.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so Whisper, which is the crow or the raven. Discard as many plot cards as you wish from your hand, gaining 1 gold for each discarded card, and then redraw up to the hand limit of 4. Hero cards do not count against your hand limit. You may never discard hero cards. Discarding plot cards go to the discard pile. Cool, so that's just a way to cycle your hand and get some gold. And for every card you discard, you get a gold. And plot. You may gain power tokens to your ally pool from a new player's house to be used as leverage against them. A non-player house. Play a single plot card from your hand and perform the plot affecting the house whose shield is listed in the upper right corner of the card. So that's my character card. So here, the shield there, this plot card would affect the Lannisters. So play plot, perform the plot affecting the house whose shield upper hand corner of the card. Each plot action costs gold, and if the plot card has more than one shield, you may choose to act against either or both. If the shield is for a, and here are some examples, a non-player house. Pay 1 gold to take a power token from that house's token pool on its mat and add it to your ally pool on your mat. If there are no tokens in its pool, then choose a player with one of the tokens in their ally pool and return it to the house's pool. That power token is now available to gain with another plot card. So I could pay 1 gold for the House Lannister card that I played to take this and put it into my ally pool. If none of those were there and Steve had the only remaining power token, I could pay 1 gold to take this and put it back onto House Lannister's pool.
Yep.
Your own house or a house not in the game. You pay 2 gold to take a power token of any non-player house and place it in your ally pool. So if we had a card that had a shield appear that wasn't one of these 6 houses or one of these 5 houses and it was mine, so if it was House Baratheon, House Martell, or my own house card, then I could pay 2 gold to take any power token. An opponent's house. Pay 3 gold to steal any 1 power token from that player's ally pool and place it in your pool. That player does not gain the 3 gold spent. Good. That's what I was wondering. Like, so then can I just always spend 1 gold to take it from you so you can never get influenced? But no. So that you can only ever do that if there's no one here. Otherwise, you pay 3 gold to do that.
Yeah.
If it's your house symbol specifically. Oh, that is actually interesting then. If there are no tokens in this pool, then the player can choose a token in their ally pool or return. I guess it's only if there's no tokens in the pool you can do that. All right. I would definitely do that. Just like try to keep stopping you from getting.
If you have gold.
I know. All right. So event. Accomplish a powerful action, such as altering alliances, maneuvering armies, or launching powerful intrigue against your opponents. Each is unique and thematic to the captivating story. Events may have a cost or prerequisite listed. If you cannot pay or meet this, then the card cannot be played. If the card involves a hero, you must already have control of a hero on the map. After resolving, place the card into the discard pile. If an event says to eliminate a unit, this means to remove that unit from its location and return it to its house mat. So it's not.
So you can play the card for the symbol or for the effect?
No, I think.
So you play for the symbol, you can be okay, I'm going to pay a gold, House Lannister comes from my ally pool. But what if you want to play the effect? Didn't that cover that yet?
Yeah, that must be. So because plot is specifically.
Oh, because you're in plot.
Yeah, plot specifically the shield icon.
Yes. So yeah, that's playing a card from your hand for its shield only. Okay, so Ben's playing for the effect only.
The cards are going to be multi-fact. I get the number will probably come into play for battling, I assume, next, which is your section. But yeah, so like Steve was saying, so for plot, it's the shield. So you're playing a card down specifically only for the shield. You're not doing the effect at the bottom. Where if you're doing the event action, you're putting it down not for the shield effect at the top, but instead for the effect at the bottom only.
Yes.
And it says if it's a hero card, then you have to be in control of not that hero, a hero.
Which means these need to get shuffled in.
Did it say to take those out initially or no?
No, we took out specifically ours. We had to take out.
Okay, I guess so then, yeah.
Because that's the only way to get a hero card would be these heroes.
Yeah, which makes sense why the backs are the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Yeah, so you have your 6 actions here. We already covered how the dice used, so now how to battle.
Nice.
So it says when you enter the domain that an opponent or non-allied house controls, automatically triggers battle. The player who triggered battle by entering is the attacker. To determine each side's military strength, do the following. The attacker may immediately play 1 face-down plot card for free. This card's strength is based on the icon in the top left-hand corner, but may also represent a special battle action that you perform, which will be covered in a moment. The defender may also place a plot card from their hand. However, you are required to pay any gold listed under the card's battle icon. Yep. If battling a non-player house that is not an alliance, then draw and reveal the top plot card from the deck for its battle icon. They do not pay gold. Okay? Yeah, so that card right there.
I zoomed in just to show.
So if I played that, I would get 5 battle strength.
And we have to pay 3 gold to use the card at all.
No, as the defender does.
The defender does. Oh.
Yeah, so it says here the attacker may immediately play one for free. This card's strength bonus is based on the icon.
Got it.
The defender may also play a card from their hand, but they have to pay.
Got it. Yeah, sorry, my bad.
So both sides will total their strength. First, you have each power token is worth 1 strength point. That's in the location. Each hero is worth 2. If the defender controls a castle, they get 1, and you can see the +1s next to the castle.
Yep.
If defending King's Landing, it gets 2. Both sides reveal any plot cards and add the numbers. Note that any additional strength from an event that the attacker may have used to initiate the battle. So if there is a card you use and says, say, did an event that says, hey, move and gain 2 extra battle strength, that also would get added on. So pretty straightforward in terms of attacking. So move, add up everything.
Yeah.
Resolving the battle. Decide the highest wins. If there's a tie, the defender always wins. The player who wins the battle gets 1 victory point, moving their token 1 spot forward. The losing side automatically loses 1 unit. If the losing side is a player, they must lose either a power token or a human. Nope, or a hero, which is a human too. So I'm not wrong. If they had allied power tokens in the domain, they must lose 1 of those tokens, and it goes to the winner's allied pool. If they did not have allied power tokens, then they can choose to lose 1 of their own power tokens or a hero. Okay. So it means you can just like scrap your allies first.
Sacrifice them. Well, but you in turn get them if you do that.
Yeah, so you're either getting rid of your own unit, which could harm you on the board, or you keep your strength on the board, give me your ally.
Right, so which then their alliance. So that's kind of fun because if you sacrifice too many of the allies, then they're going to switch alliances. Well, screw you, man.
Yeah. If the losing side is a non-player house, so the ones off the side of the board, the winner takes a power token and places it in their ally pool. Retreating. All units in the domain that belong to the losing side must move by land out of the domain to the nearest friendly domain with available capacity that they control, or to the nearest fiefdom domain that is occupied by any house. So this domain's distance is counted as if they were marching. So follow the movement rules when your army is retreating. You may move any number of units through enemy domains. This does not start battle to reach the nearest unoccupied fiefdom domain or friendly domain that can support the number of units moving. Or you must follow the domain under. Oh, you got to follow the limits. So the 3-player limits.
Yep.
If there are no domains on the map that can support the number of units moving, then you must return any retreating units back to your map, which makes sense.
Okay. So this here, that's when you can move through enemy units if you're going to like an empty space on the other side of them.
Yes. It did say where to go. It says land. Must move by land.
Yeah, that makes sense. Can't do ocean sea.
Yeah. If 2 or more closest available domains, friendly or unoccupied, are equidistant, you may choose where to go. You can only retreat into King's Landing or a castle domain if you control it and there's no other option. So that makes sense.
So you can only
go like right now, like Oldham's just a fiefdom. It's unoccupied. It doesn't have a castle. It's just chilling. These are castle domains.
So you can only go into the castle domain if you have no other choice.
Yes, or it's an ally.
Got it. Well, you would have the.
Oh, true.
Castle. Well,
yeah. Then you have 3 special battle actions listed on the top of some of the cards. So if there's a white flag on top of a card, that means retreat. Immediately retreat from the battle. The above player does not gain a victory point for winning, or the other player. If both players retreat, the defender retreats first.
So, white flag?
Yep. Conscripts. 3 arrows going into 1 black location. Gain battle strength from each friendly unit in adjacent domains.
Andromeda's Edge style.
Gain +1 for each power token, +2 for each hero.
Nice.
These units offer their strength, but remain in the domain. Are not costed as losses or retreat if you lose. And then secret. You must draw the top plot card from the deck and resolve it as if it was just played. If defending, you only pay the gold shown on the chosen card. Do not pay the gold of the cards drawn. So if you play that card and you're defending, you still have to pay the gold cost next to that secret location card.
Oh,
So that's the plot card you're playing. So when you play a plot card to start, so as the attacker, if I play a plot card, I can be like, oh, boom, I get 2 battle strength.
Yep.
Or I can play this one and stay face down. At the end of the battle, I get to draw and resolve a new plot card, but I don't pay the cost. The defender has to pay the cost, always.
So if you're the attacker and you play that one,
it's still free. So you play the card for
stay
free
face
regarding...
down.
Yeah, because you play face down at the beginning.
Yeah.
We each play... Defender and attacker both play card face down. So it's always free for the attacker. You pay as the defender. All right. I'm going to get 2 pages left.
Cool. Boop. Sitting on the Iron Throne. The domain of King's Landing operates differently than other domains. First, you must control at least 3 castles to either march or sail into it, and you may not retreat into it if it's unoccupied. When you meet the 3 castle requirement, only then can you move into King's Landing and gain the Iron Throne, adding it to your ally pool. Having it offers these benefits. The Iron Throne is a wild power token in your ally pool, meaning sitting on it counts as 1 power token for every non-player house. When King's Landing is attacked, it offers 2 in defense. You gain 1 of that purple, I guess those are points, I assume? Yeah, where you gain 1 scoring point during the scoring round if you have enough units recruited. Allied tokens may occupy King's Landing with you, but be careful, losing that alliance means that you must retreat. Losing control of King's Landing. If you no longer control 3 castles, then you must immediately retreat from King's Landing, then return the Iron Throne to its spot on King's Landing. Returning power tokens or heroes. When you are instructed to return or remove any unit, you are returning it to its house mat, and you gain a benefit listed on the spot you return to, including gold, plot cards, or even victory points. Your power token, so if you're returning your power token, place the token in the rightmost open space and either gain gold or draw a plot card. So when you put it into your spots, you go to wherever the rightmost empty spot is. If you're returning one to your hero, or if you're returning your hero, place it on its spot on your house mat and gain 2 gold and 1 victory point. So whenever you put it back there. Interesting. A non-player power token, so return it to its mat and receive nothing. A non-player hero, return it to its house mat and receive 1 gold, or and 1 victory point.
Oh, so this is victory point and 2 gold.
Yep. Interesting. So for returning them, you get perks.
Returning them as in losses?
It says when you're instructed to return or remove any unit,
so
you're returning it to its house mat.
So you fail forward. Stupid.
Steve hates fail forward.
I did.
Hilarious.
I like permadeath, not fail forward.
A house's final unit on the map. If a house is down to a single unit, either hero or power token on the map, that unit cannot, for any reason, leave the map. That unit cannot attack alone, be attacked by other players, or be eliminated by an event.
Just like our starting
ones. This is true for units of both players and non-player houses. However, that final unit may battle and be battled if it shares its domain with at least 1 ally's unit that is not the last unit on the map of that allied house. So, however, the final unit may battle and be battled if it shares its domain with at least 1. Oh, so so anytime that there's only 1 unit in a location, you can't fight. Essentially, is what it's saying.
Yeah, which makes sense.
So always
you have to re-strengthen your army.
Yeah, so there's always going to be one of these units on the map, at least.
No, one of ours.
And non-player also.
Oh, also okay.
Yeah. So,
Interesting.
So this is true for both player and non-player houses.
Okay, so the house will never be vanquished.
Yep. More disappointments for Steve. Heroes and houses. Each house except for House Aaron has a hero which consists of 2 components. A figure that acts as a powerful unit while on the map, offering 2 in battle. A card in your hand that can be played for plotting, a powerful event, or as strength to be secretly played in battle. Once played for any of those purposes, the card remains face up in your play area. It is not removed from the game when it's played for the event. Hero cards are returned to your hand after played each round. A hero must be on the map in order for you to have its hero card in your hand. Once played for those purposes, the card remains face up in your play area. Cool. Hero card. So then, okay, so it's just saying that, like, if I had this once played, it just stays here until returned to my hand when we're refreshing cards.
Yeah, I'm assuming you only get that once you get an alliance.
Yeah, once you have the alliance, you have to then, I assume, pay to gain the hero.
And then you get the card.
And then you get the card.
Okay.
All right. If you lose a hero, or if you lose a hero card as well until you have recruited it again, you also lose a card, until you recruit it again. Having an alliance also grants you an alliance ability that can be used on your turn.
Yep. We already covered that. That's the die change.
Yep. Checking alliances. When you have 2 of a non-player house's tokens in your ally pool, you may potentially gain that house's alliance. After all players have taken a turn, as active player in a round, and chosen whether to perform the additional dice in a 2 or 3 player game, then it is time to check alliances, starting with the player who has the hand of the king and going clockwise. Award alliances to the player who have at least 2 power tokens of a non-player house and more of its power tokens in your ally pool than anyone else.
Okay.
And chosen whether to perform the additional dice in a 2. What was the additional dice? Oh, these 2 or 3 player.
Yeah.
Sorry, I confused me for a sec. If more than one player have equal number of power tokens of a non-player house and one of those players is already allied with that house, they retain that alliance. If none of the players are tied and they're already allied with that house, the player who comes first in player order gains the alliance. The shield from that house's mat is placed in the play area. You must have at least 2 power tokens non-player house. Oh, interesting. So if none of the tied players are already allied with the house, the player who comes... Oh, okay, never mind. Makes sense. I missed tied. I thought it was like the first person who would have an alliance.
Skipping words.
My brain's starting to skip words. Having an alliance immediately guarantees you these benefits. All the house's power tokens on the map are now under your control along with the domain they occupy and any castles they control. So move the castle's gain to your gold track. So if I got an alliance with the house Aaron, I would then take this castle and put it on my track. Those guys are definitely my units, and then I get all these people as well, which I can take as allies.
I'm assuming you put on 8, and then it limits how much gold you can have.
That's exactly, because that's the upkeep of like.
Yep.
You may occupy domains with those units as long as you are a non-player house in a given domain. You have the option for future recruit actions to recruit their power tokens or hero to domains you control. When you recruit a non-player hero, you also gain the card. You want to...
That's solo mode.
Rival actions.
No, it's solo.
Oh, solo's there. Okay. Losing an alliance?
Sure. Oh, so losing an alliance. Just as easily as you gained them, you can lose them.
Oh,
no! If another player has more ally power tokens, so same thing we've already talked about, or possibly by controlling the Iron Throne. So that was when Nick went over sitting on the Iron Throne. You potentially can take alliances that way.
Yep.
So... If someone steals your alliance, follow the 3 steps. That player immediately takes the house shield and control of all non-player units on the map, including the hero and hero card. For each domain that you share with your former ally units, your units must retreat. Since the player is gaining an alliance, then they immediately also gain castles that the non-player controls. So it just flips everything over, pretty much.
Makes sense.
Alliances cannot be lost during the round unless due to an event. If you lose an ally power token from your ally pool, and that brings you below 2, retain the alliance until alliances are checked at the end of the round. If players are eligible for the alliance, then return the shield and hero card. The player must still retreat, lose castles, etc. So pretty much means during the battle, during the battle phase when you're doing all this, you'll hold the alliance until the end of the round. So you could lose it on the first movement, but hold it for the rest, which is interesting. Collecting taxes. After checking alliances, it's time to collect taxes. Advance your coin 1 space, so gain a coin for each gold gained. So gain gold and plot cards from any open space on the force track, and as a result of recruiting. So after checking alliance, it's time to collect taxes. So it says normally you would move the tracker. We're just going to gain gold. So advance your coin space 1 for each gold gained. So first gain gold and plot cards from any open space on your force track, and as a result of recruiting. Plot cards are gained in player order starting with the player who's handed the king. Then gain 1 gold from each fiefdom you control. Okay, there it is. These domains do not have to have castles, and instead have a single gold icon listed on the map card. Advance your gold 1 space for each gold from collecting taxes. If you control King's Landing, gain 2. So pretty much if you have a unit right here in Old Town that has a little gold symbol, during collect taxes, you get a gold. So as Nick mentioned out earlier, we're just actually going to get gold coins.
They said, if your King's Landing gives you +2.
Yeah, King's Landing has 2 coins. Culling the ally pools. After a player collects taxes, cull the power tokens in the ally pool down to just 2 tokens per non-house player, returning excess tokens to the house mats. This will not cause any alliance changes, so for instance, culling the 3rd Tyrell and 3rd Aaron token from the ally pool. Okay? So if you have 4 ally tokens for, let's say, House Lannister down there, 2 of them will go back to the mat. You only keep 2 in your ally pool. If you control King's Landing if the player controls King's Landing and has more power tokens for a house, they are not allied. What? This will be resolved when checking alliance. That is not a sentence. This is not me reading. If a player controls King's Landing and now has more power tokens for a house they are not allied with, that will be resolved when checking alliance at the end of the round.
So we have control of King's Landing. And
but why would you have power? Oh, because if you lost alliance. Okay. Yeah. Because it goes in order. So if you lost the alliance and now you still have tokens for that house, then you'll deal with it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. End of round. After checking alliances, collecting taxes, culling, and then advance the crown 1 space. If the next space is a scoring phase marked with a purple little crown there, go to scoring. If not, go to the next round. So scoring, which is also right here on the little board, which is nice. There are 3 scoring phases where players advance their shields on the score track. 1 after round 3, 1 after 5, and 1 at the end. If your score ever exceeds 30, flip the token to the +30 side.
Nice.
So the number of castles you control compared to all other players. So you're going to do that first. So in a 2-player game, the player with the most castles gets 2. The player with the second most gets 1.
That's right here too, which is good.
Yep. If there's a tie, all players get the full points of the level they're tied for. Okay. So you both get 2.
Yep.
House objectives. The specific requirements listed at the bottom of each player's map. So that's down there. These objectives are connected to power tokens you have recruited from the force track. You must have all power tokens above the objective recruited and control the required domains to score points. Okay, so you have to unlock that person. Okay, that makes sense. You must have all power tokens above the recruit to collect. Oh, that's what I just said. Yeah.
Also, like the effects on here seem like they're just for the solo then.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it has a solo symbol.
Oh, it has a solo. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So as soon as we get, so for you here, as soon as you have this person out on the board somewhere, and as long as you still control Winterfell, you get 1 point. And then alliances gain power or gain prestige here, victory points.
As long as I still control Winterfell.
Yeah.
Why would I not?
Like if someone else takes over Winterfell, then you don't get the victory point there.
No, that's not. No, that's not what it said in there. That's where your die, because your die will be in.
No. We figured that out. That was this left and right, not that left and right.
Oh, right.
That was up here. Doesn't matter. No, yeah. So this, it says here, house objectives. The specific requirements listed at the bottom of each player's map. These objectives are connected to power tokens you have recruited. You must have all the power tokens above recruited and control that domain to score points.
Okay. So Winterfell. So 2 faith.
And then the Alliance will also give you victory points during the scoring phase.
Got it. Okay. Sorry.
And then last thing here is Vengeance tokens. When the crown reaches a scoring phase, so the 2 Vala Mogulis, and lands on a Vengeance token, the token is given to the player with the lowest score. For the rest of the game, that player now gains 1 victory point anytime they start a battle, even if it's halted by a retreat or other effect. It is possible to get both tokens, meaning you get 2 points for starting a battle.
Nice.
If players are tied, the token for that phase is not given to any player, instead yeeted off the game board.
So whoever has the most points when we get there gets that token.
No, least points.
Oh, so least, sorry.
Go forward. Then start the next round. Give the hand of the king to the next player. Give them all 5 dice to roll, as we just did for the rolling phase, and start the round. At the end of the final scoring phase, here at 6, the player with the most victory points is crowned. If there's a tie, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiebreaker. Nope, 4. We don't care about the last one. It says share. We don't care.
No.
So 4 tiebreakers.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's all.
And then we have a bunch of solo stuff, and then there's a whole nother book which we'll have to save for a different video.
2 quick setup corrections. 1, shuffle the character cards that are remaining, the
Which
hero
is not in
cards,
the book.
into the deck. So just the game, perform actions. It's very similar to the larger version.
It is. That's how I realized right off the bat. I'm like, oh, it's just moving and battling.
Yep, just kind of go moving,
and you have
battling,
different abilities and
resources.
specials to do.
Yep. The only thing this doesn't have that one had was the wildling advancing, but there are like scout cards in the Ice and Fire.
Yeah. Which pretty much do that at a glance very briefly.
But this looks like it's probably for the co-op specifically though, because I think the Night King's in the co-op. But cool. Well, looks like fun. Can't wait to dive in.
Yeah.
Which it will be soon.
In less than a week.
Yeah. It's coming Thursday. So join us live on Twitch on, what's it going to be, January what? Is that
23rd.
January 23rd. All right. So, I mean, but this will be going up the day before anyway.
Yep.
So, if you're watching this on YouTube, which if you're not here with us now, you are. So, tomorrow, tune in at 8 p.m. We're going to be doing Tiny Epic Game of Thrones. We're going to have on at least one other person. Hopefully we can get 2 more people to jump in, and we're going to battle it out for Westeros. See who can hop on that throne. But thank you for joining us here at Bald and Board Games. I'm Bald.
I'm bored.
We'll see you on the throne.
The winter is coming.